Okay, good morning, everyone. Monday, the 10th of August. Welcome to the Lasham daily briefing. So, looking at the synoptic, the start quite straightforward there. That's cold front that was approaching from the northwest. That's since dissipated or relocated to the east, no longer a concern for us. And we've just got this high pressure centered over the Irish Sea here, giving us nice slack isobars and no frontal features on that chart. So we can expect a continuation of the hot blue light wind conditions, probably with slightly poorer soaring than we initially hoped for, given that the front hasn't quite passed over as we would have liked it to. Synoptic, so bits of clouds in places, blue in the south, some thin top cover, and then other cloud dotted about, some wave up in Scotland, but nothing significant otherwise, possibly even the tail end of that front shown here towards East Anglia, but nothing in our area. And of course, the rain radar showing much the same. ODM there, observation this morning, 300 degrees, 7 knots, Cav OK, with the pressure of 1018. So pressure starting to increase again as that high comes closer to us. And Farnborough, just get that quick refresh. They've got a TAF in this morning of 320 degrees, 8 knots of wind, greater than 10 kilometers visibility, and few clouds at 4,500 feet. So really quite straightforward, pleasant day. Winds aloft to the south of us, ranging between northeasterly and northwesterly, between 5 and 10 knots, and to the north of us, but more consistently northwesterly, around 10 knots, actually reducing slightly with altitude. Wind on the ground, looking here at Windy, showing a very gentle northwesterly flow across the airfield. Met Officer agreeing, giving us a reducing wind speed throughout the day, beginning around 7 knots down to 3 or 4 later. Possibly a slight easterly component into the evening, but certainly the majority of today's flying will not be affected by the 2-7 operation. High UV for an extended window again, so if you are out there, do take care, and a reducing humidity level. Slightly cooler than yesterday, GFS showing around 24 degrees in the warmest part of the day, with a dew point of 4. SkySat cross-section here, showing a reasonably long soarable period, but certainly weaker than has been seen for the last few days. Look at top cover seen initially, which there was a bit of evidence of on the sat pic, becoming soarable reasonably, probably around midday, lunchtime, and then it should remain that way for much of the day. Left-hand side here, an excerpt from the potential flight distance. That's just showing a large area of reasonable soarable conditions in the south of the UK. No SAMs, nothing of great significance there, certainly no change. Danger areas active out towards the plains and the transponder mandatory zone. Of course, if you are flying cross country, it's your responsibility to self-brief. Okay, so looking at glider bookings, 2 K21s on 5-day courses, 1 on booked flying this afternoon, and another, would be a K13 on the casual list in actual fact. We've got K13 as well for trial lessons, and SH3 and number 4 are being used on MOVE's Silver and Beyond course. We do still have plenty of single-seater availability around that, and at the moment 8 on the casual list, many of whom do require an instructor. So if there is anyone around looking to help out, that would be greatly appreciated. We're not expecting any movements at this time. And a reminder, of course, about the Boeing expedition. So in summary, nice and simple, just our dominant high pressure, expecting blue conditions with thermals from about lunchtime onwards and a light northerly flow. Therefore, we'll operate runway 27 with cables on the south side, and as always, do not land or taxi across the disused runways as shown in red. With our airfield set up to finish, winching south of the main runway, air towing north of the centre line. If there is a grid or any requirement for a grid, that will be positioned up on the north side grass in its usual place, with self-launches queuing behind east of the 2-3 threshold. I would ask if there's only a few gliders that you don't form a grid, you just come to the runway, as manpower will be a problem. That's all for me this morning. We'll see you out there shortly and have a good day. Thank you.